Mayor, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for August 18th, 2022, to order at 7:02 p.m. On roll call, we have Council Members Ballesteri. Here. Dennis. Here. Golovic. Here. Pellegrin.
Here.
Sheridan.
Here.
Council President Fasolo.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
By the way, that was a voice on the phone. It's not you're not seeing things, or not seeing things, I should say. How's everybody doing out there? I see a lot of old friends out there and faces. It's good. I haven't seen this in years. Well, when we go to the Hall of Fame meeting, we do have that opportunity. We have a very special evening in store. We are going to honor a lady that I affectionately call the godmother of the football Bombers. And also we have our Poppy Boy that's with us this evening. So let us get started. Everybody please rise for our prayer and flag salute. Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and greater love for you and our neighbors. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring your peace and happiness to our communion. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey require at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now, therefore, be advised that the meeting's requirement for this meeting have been met by publishing a special meeting notice in the Record in Herald News and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted and transmitted on January 8th, 2022, and published on January 11th, 2022. Ms. Morris?
Thank you. At this time, we have approval of minutes. We have May 5th, 2022 work session, May 5th, 2022 executive, May 19th, 2022 regular meeting, and May 19th, 2022 executive.
May I have a motion to accept the meetings?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
All in favor?
Oh, aye.
Call the roll, please.
Okay. First by Pellegrin, second by Sheridan. On roll call, we have Council Members Ballesteri.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Minutes approved. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting back over to the mayor for a presentation to Mrs. Sharma.
So as I said earlier, we are honoring a lady of this town that has left us, but she really has not left us because she's in all of us right now. We have some people that are here tonight to celebrate her, two good friends and colleagues for many years, Phil Moriarty and Mr. Peoples. Will you please come up?
They say that a community's future is built upon the work of those that have come before us. If that's the case, Vaishama gave us 22 years on the Elmwood Park Athletic Hall of Fame, for which I'm forever grateful, as well as decades of service to the Elmwood Park community. I want to thank the mayor and council for choosing to honor Vaishama, and also thank the mayor and council for inviting myself and Phil Moriarty to this meeting to celebrate Vaishama's life. At this time, I'd like to introduce Phil Moriarty to say a few words about Vaishama.
That's what you get for being too tall, Phil.
Okay, good evening. Brian said, as Brian said, no, it's all right. As Brian said, we are members of the Hall of Fame. Brian and I, from the beginning, from the inception, until this is our 31st year on the Hall of Fame committee. Okay, so Brian and I are here tonight to tell you a little bit about Vi Sharma's commitment to the youth of Elmwood Park, to the community, and to celebrate her life. During a time in 1973 when the East Patterson Elmwood Park football teams were excelling, Vi took over as the head cheerleading director for the Elmwood Park Junior Football Bombers. Her influence was felt right from the beginning as she developed the Pee Wee, Junior, and Senior squads from recruitment, teaching the basics, and through their game day performances. She instilled confidence in them through disciplined practices, repetitive drills, and most of all, as a confidant and shoulder to lean on for a young girl who needed some support and encouragement. Her dedication soon paid off. Only 4 years after taking over as director, she entered the girls in cheering competitions, winning championships 4 years in a row, and this feat was repeated many times over in her 25-year tenure before retiring in 1998. In addition, Vi ran a Bombers Pep Squad for young girls ranging in ages from 6 to 13, organized and coached cheering squads for the EP Recreation Basketball and St. Leo's basketball programs. She counseled coaches from the Garfield Boilermakers, the Paramus Recreation cheering squads, and mentored the coaches from Elmwood Park High School cheering squads. Vi went on to serve this community as a Board of Recreation Commissioner for over 10 years, overseeing the youth programs and maintaining that every child had an opportunity to compete in a supervised, fun-filled atmosphere. In 1999, Vi was inducted into the Elmwood Park Athletic Hall of Fame as a special contributor. For her many years of volunteering her time to the youth of EP, and especially for her life's work in the advancement of cheerleading. Not one to rest on her laurels, Vi immediately joined our Hall of Fame selection committee and has been an active member and treasurer for the past 22 years, until her passing this past winter. In addition to her treasury duties, Vi headed up our dinner journal, solicited a large part of our ads, and had daily contact with our printer, Donna Valicante of Ramsey Graphics, to go over last-minute changes and additions. Vi led by example. She championed the committee to give back to the community by offering grants to the local sports programs to further their development, and would often pay out of her own pocket the registration fee for the youth whose family was struggling. On a personal note, Vi, who also earned Birchwood Deli and Liquor Store on what has now been renamed Mola Boulevard, continued to help our youth by giving them a job at a deli and instilling the values of discipline, hard work, structure, and life skills in them so they could become successful young men and women. Vi was also a surrogate mom to many young girls, has opened her house to provide shelter to some of the lost citizens of Elmwood Park until they could get back on their feet, and has been a guiding light for everything that went on the Hall of Fame Committee and Board of Recreation. But most of all, both Brian and I are proud to have known her as a friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peoples, Mr. Moriarty. Thank you. Now I'd like to call up her son, Georgie Shama.
All right, first I would like to thank the mayor and council for this amazing, the tribute to this amazing woman, cheerleader advisor, friend, and a mother that anyone can ask for. I would also like to thank the gentleman from the Hall of Fame for their kind words. She loved working with you guys. She always used to come back from every meeting, fill me in on who's up for the nominations, what my thoughts, back and forth. We go back and forth, argue sometimes, and then it was great. It's something she loved doing, and I want to thank you guys for taking her in and letting her be part of that. She loved it. Besides donating most of her time as a volunteer, she was maybe some people didn't know. She was a volunteer for also the Hackensack Hospital. She worked in their boutique selling clothing for people in need that was done in Hackensack. Besides being a board member on the Recreation and the Hall of Fame, her pride and joy was being a Bomber cheerleader advisor. Her favorite part, some of you might not know this, but her favorite part was when her and my father would load up the car with cheerleaders, there was no seatbelt law at that time, Mike, and go poster hanging and decorate the football houses the night before the homecoming games. She used to love seeing the next day the kids' eyes about an 8-foot poster hanging over their door and decorating the house. It made her so proud to say that she was part of that. But besides being that, she was also a business owner, a great friend, and an amazing mother to all. And when I say amazing mother to all, is that she treated our friends, mine and my sister's friends, as that they were her own children. She had an open door policy and accepted everyone for who they were. Some of our friends to this day say she changed their lives. Some of them even said she saved their lives. Just by being there for them, she made an impact. This is tough. She went on as far as letting some families move in, as Phil said, until they were able to get back on their feet. And it didn't matter how much time, she was there for them. She provided shelter, food, until they were able to move out and get back on their feet. Her generosity didn't even stop there. She bought my wife her first car, and I wasn't even dating her. I guess that was the stipulation of getting the car, I guess. And she had to marry me. Where was I? Yeah, then the way she used to spoil her grandkids was unique. She didn't spoil them with money and presents, but she made stuff by hand. And to this day, would touch their hearts, and they have these little mementos. Not that you can buy, something she made, and it's still like in the room, and they have it hanging up. That's more than you could imagine, and more stuff than I can want to take in, that she had stuff all over the house. But the person that will miss her the most, besides me, is my sister. My mother was the world to her. Our mom was her best cheerleading coach and also her life coach and her best friend. She was the best mother any daughter could have. I can go on and on about this woman because she had done so much in the time she had on this earth, and she will be missed by all that knew her. I want to thank everyone who came here tonight. I know right now she's looking down at us and smiling. I can't express how much she will be missed by us, this community, and the void that she's going to leave is going to be unbearable. I hope everybody will keep her in our prayers, And God bless you all for coming down here. Thank you.
Certainly a lady that touched us all. I'm going to speak on a personal note myself now. I met Vi in 1985, I want to say. She was the cheerleading director, along with Mary Ann, and Georgie was a coach with the Bombers. And at our first meeting, she said to me, "Coletti, I just want you to know that these cheerleaders are going to get treated just like the football Bombers." I said, "Yes, ma'am." It was that moment that I knew there was dedication and fairness. And you talk about breaking that glass ceiling for women. She did it decades ago. And that was her purpose, to make sure that the funds we received, the uniforms, if the boys needed the uniforms this year, next year the girls would get it, so on, and keep it fair. And we had a ball doing that too, when at that moment, I think there was $1,200 in the treasury when it was handed over to me. And we just went on a rampage, trips to Atlantic City, shaking the cans on the corners, Halloween costume parties. We got it right back up to, like, I think at that time, Georgie, was 15,000 we needed. But we did it and we had fun doing it. But the equity for women, it was what always struck me as something profound, and that was Vi. And from that point on, we became truly good friends. We respected each other. You know, after you go through those bouts, just like a marriage, it was good. It was really good. And once again, I affectionately call her the godmother of our football Bombers, because that's, in fact, that is what she is. And the apple didn't fall far from the tree with her children. They both, decades of community service with our boys and girls. And another interesting story, and a lot of you out there will recall, when we put that extension on the hut, if you recall, it looked odd before. You had 2 stories on the baseball side and only 1 story on the football side. So once again, not a penny cost in the town, through fundraisers, we took the money and did the extension. Mostly everyone in the organization was working physically on it. Sal Laterra he was the head of the crew at the time. During that period, though, the uniforms had to go somewhere. So what does Vi do? She brings all the uniforms into her house in her basement. That's how dedicated a person she was. And I'm honored here. The fact, I don't like the fact that she's not with us, but I like the fact that I can be part of this with you people. So if I can get Mary Ann and George to come up here, please. Presented to Violet Sharma, the Borough of Elmwood Park is eternally grateful to you for your endless devotion to the Elmwood Park Football Bombers and their cheerleading organization. August 18, 2022. Good night in Elmwood Park. Good night. I'm going to ask the council now if they would care to comment. Mr. Gollenbeck, we'll start with you.
Sure, I'll be brief, Mayor. You know, Elmwood Park has 20,000 people, and probably we've had over 150,000 people live in this town at one point or another in the last 40 years. And you can probably count on two hands the amount of people that put in the years and time and dedication of someone like Vai Sharma. So I'm glad we did this, and I thank the Sharma family, the Hall of Fame representatives, for sharing her with us both all these years and here tonight. I think it was a beautiful thing for the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Terry?
George, his family, Marianne, I remember your mom from going into the liquor store, getting cigarettes, and she would look at me and say, "How old are you? Come on, come on, come on." And she would say, "Okay, no problem." But I wasn't in the cheerleading, I was more in the softball, but she was a great woman. She's gonna be sadly missed, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, to the Sharma family, remembering and honoring your mom for all she did for our community for decades was an honor tonight. Her passion and her commitment to Elmwood Park community was evident in everything she did. She will always be remembered for her kindness and her generosity. Mrs. Vai Sharma did make a difference, and she will always be remembered fondly. And on a personal note, I was telling George earlier, I didn't know your mom for decades, but the last few years through our residence assistance program, she would come and she would sit with us and she'd say, "Honey, what do you need? How can I help?" And she just touched my heart because as someone I didn't really know, she was just so willing to do whatever she could. And I just remembered going home and I always heard the name, I knew she did good things, but just actually sitting with her for that hour that day, I said, this is one heck of a woman that really, really, truly cares. So I will never forget that afternoon with her, and I'm so honored to share this honor with everyone here tonight. You had a great mom, and we had a great member of our community, and she will always be remembered. Thank you, Mayor.
Vai Sharma's commitment to our community is simply amazing. EP is very blessed to have had her lifelong commitment. She will be missed by many, but not forgotten. Thank you all for sharing her history with us. She's just an amazing woman. Thank you.
I'm going to keep it short because you guys made me cry. I just wanted to thank you for sharing her story. She sounded like an amazing woman, and I'm a little sad that I didn't get a chance to meet her. But on a personal level, it's my first time being a cheer coach this year, and hearing her story just kind of put something in me to try harder than I thought I was going to try, just to kind of keep her memory going and make her proud. She was a part of a fantastic program, and I can tell by her children and dedication to those programs how great she really was. So thank you for sharing her story. Thank you for sharing her with the residents of Elmwood Park. I know when she was committed to those programs, you probably had a lot of fast food dinners maybe. But her story is amazing, and if my contribution is trying hard to make her program continue, I will do that for you guys. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for that council person you cannot see, but you can hear from the clouds, Council President Fasolo.
Thank you, Mayor. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Sharma was an integral part of our community. She was dedicated to our youth, and that dedication impacted many in our community to this day. When you impact so many for so long, your legacy surely lives on forever, not only in those youth that grew up, but now in the program that still lives on in her name. I'm upset that I had to miss this. Unfortunately, I have COVID, and we all thought this was over, but I got it by surprise. But this is truly deserved, and I wish I was there. Thank you all for coming tonight.
That ends our presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're invited to stay for the balance of the council meeting if you wish. If not, that's okay too. We're going to take a short intermission of 10 minutes. No. Wait. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to do the other presentation now. I had thought we were going to do it after, but we're going to do it now. We have a young fella that's with us this evening, and he's certainly outstanding. We want to show our recognition to him. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Sheridan to just explain to the audience what the Poppy Buddy is.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, the Poppy Buddy. The VFW Poppy Buddies program provided by compensation to veterans who assemble the poppies, provided financial assistance in maintaining state and national veterans rehabilitation, and service programs to support VFW's National Home for Children. The Buddy Poppies are still assembled by disabled and needy veterans in the VA hospitals. Tonight, our Poppy Prince is Jackson. His great-grandfather was stationed in Germany during the Korean War. I'll turn it back to you, Mayor.
Yes, so basically, the poppies are made by veterans,
Yes,
and they're paid to make them,
yes.
which is a good thing, that these
Yeah.
veterans have a side income. And then that extra money goes towards children,
To the National Home for the Children,
the children.
or the VFW, their children.
Okay, is there any questions on this? Because I'm just figuring out myself too right now. Okay, so with that said, where's that young Jason?
Jackson.
Jackson, sorry. Come on, Jackson.
Oh,
Before we do this, I want to sit in my chair for a second. Just for a second. Okay, I have a question for you. How's that feel? You're the mayor right now. What would be the first thing you would change if you could, if you were mayor? He said soda in a water fountain. All right, young man. Maybe someday you'll be sitting here. Okay? Come on, we'll go back. He's got- Gotta get the award. I like this kid. Can I adopt him? It's quiet. Certificate of recognition award to Jackson Roos, official Poppy Boy of the year 2022 Memorial Day Parade, awarded this 18th day of August 2022, Mayor Robert Coletti. You all keep in mind, and he will sign autographs. Okay? Come again? All right. It's not too scary. All right? Okay. Next thing you know, we'll be on television in Superstar. Yeah.
Mayor, at this time, I would like to reestablish a quorum. On roll call, we have council members Ballestieri.
Here.
Dennis. Here. Golubek. Here. Pellegrin.
Here.
Sheridan.
Here.
Council President Fasolo.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum. At this time, we will be going through ordinances on first reading. We have Resolution R-292-22, introduced ordinance number 22-22. On first reading, be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Improvement of 15th Avenue from East 53rd Street to East 55th Street in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $200,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, September 15, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Thank you, Sinead. Michael, could you break this down for us?
Mayor, paving of 15th Ave, Bergen County Community Development Program, putting everything in place to get that work done before the winter.
Michael, I want to apologize for not bringing you up to speak for Mrs. Sharma. It just got by me, so.
That's okay, Mayor.
May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Sheridan. On roll call, we have council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we have Resolution R-293-22, introduced ordinance number 22-23 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, New Jersey, adopting a redevelopment plan for Block 1602, Lots 2, 3, 4, and 26, and the Borough of Elmwood Park in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, September 15th, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Michael?
Mayor, the redevelopment plan needed some tweaking. The developer asked, it came before the mayor and council, and now you are sending it back to the board to review.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Council President Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution R-294-22, introduced ordinance number 22-24 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a three-way stop at the intersection of Caruth Avenue and Augusta Street, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, September 15, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
First by Pellegrin, second by Council President Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golombek? Pellegrin?
Yes.
Sheridan?
Yes.
Council President Fasolo?
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we have Resolution R-295-22, introduce ordinance number 22-25 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Three-Way Stop at the Intersections of Linden Avenue and Grant Street," and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, September 15th, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in the legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion on the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
First by Pellegrin, second by Council President Fasolo. On roll call, we have Council Members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we have ordinances for second reading. Resolution R-296-22, introduce ordinance number 22-20 on second reading, whereas the public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Acquisition of New Additional or Replacement Equipment and Machinery in a New Automotive Vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment for the use of the Police Department and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $160,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, July 21st, 2022, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Acquisition of New Additional or Replacement Equipment and Machinery in a New Automotive Vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment for the use of the Police Department and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $160,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Pass on final reading.
Michael, this is for the special equipment for, SWAT equipment for our police officers for the high school?
Affirmative, Mayor, for a special unit for emergency response to, God forbid, an active shooter situation. This unit will be equipped with everything needed for the officers to make an immediate entry.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to open to the public on this second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this? If not, I will close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Council President Fasolo. On roll call, we have Council Members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we have Resolution R-297-22, introduce ordinance number 22-21 on second reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing the Code of the Borough, more specifically Chapter 7, entitled Traffic, Section 7-18, One-Way Streets, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, July 21st, 2022, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance was given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing the Code of the Borough, more specifically Chapter 7, entitled Traffic, Section 7-18, One-Way Streets, passed on final reading.
Motion to open to the public, please.
So moved.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Valesterian. On roll call, we have council members Valesterian,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golubek. Yes. Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now moving to our consent agenda. We have resolutions R-298-22, approval of payroll, R-299-22, approval of bills list, R-300-22, authorized current estimate number 4, change order number 1, 2019 CDBG improvements to Donor and Echo, R-301-22, authorized building department refund, R-302-22, appointment of counselors for the 2022-2023 school year, after-school program, recreation department, R-303-22, appointment of counselors for the 2022-2023 school year, morning care, recreation department, R-304-22, appointment of recreation department staff, R-305-22, appointment of recreation department staff, R-306-22, appoint part-time maintenance worker, Jordan Santos, recreation department, R-307-22, authorize voiding of stale checks, R-308-22, appointment of special officers, R-309-22, approved block party request, R-310-22, appointment of library board member, R-311-22, approved 2022-2023 new and/or used car dealership licenses, R-312-22, approve handicap parking space, Dye Avenue, R-313-22, approval to submit and execute a grant application, R-314-22, resolution supporting the creation of the Elmwood Park Civic Youth Week program in participation with the Elmwood Park Board of Education, R-315-22, resolution for renewal of membership in South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, R-316-22, appoint hearing officer for disciplinary hearing, R-317-22, resolution to accept audit comments, R-318-22, creating a pilot program to be known as the Division of Veteran Affairs and appointment of temporary outside independent consultant for the Borough of Elmwood Park, R-319-22, approve Elmwood Park Fire Department stipend program, second quarter compensation, R-320-22, resolution to approve the consent agenda.
May I have a motion on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
First by Pellegrin, second by Council President Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Valesterian,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Council President Fasolo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we have departmental reports. We have library board meeting minutes from June 20th, 2022, and the Board of Health meeting minutes from May 9th, 2022.
Motion to accept the departmental reports.
Aye.
Aye.
Need another. You need another. We got a first and a second?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Well, that was a good eye.
Mayor, at this time, I will turn the meeting over to you.
Okay, council reports. We'll start off with Councilwoman Ballesteri.
Okay, my recreation report, summer camp has ended and finished off with the Summer of Heroes with our first ever Color Wars. Community Day is September 10th. If anyone would like to submit a table request, you have until the end of this week. It would be $50 a table. So please call the Recreation Center if you're interested. There will be rides, food, beer garden, DJ, and much more. So I hope to see everybody there. Volleyball is every Wednesday night for the rest of August, $10 a person. The spray park is open until August 28th, Monday through Friday, 11 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 5. Aftercare registration is almost full. It's $190 a month. Morning care is $100 a month. So if you want to sign up, it's filling up quickly. Now, we have also a Weekend Warriors program. That's a special needs program. That's in full effect on Saturdays in the afternoon at the Recreation Center. I also want to mention Council Corner will resume on Saturday, October 8th at 1 p.m. And that would be by Councilwoman Lorraine Pellegrin and myself. And our guest speaker, for our first meeting back will be Mayor Coletti. So please come and join us on October 8th in the all-purpose room in Borough Hall. Thank you, Mayor.
Sandy, what's the Weekend Warriors about?
Okay, let's go back. So this is a program, and again, like I said, it's a special needs program, but it's a special needs program, and they participate in activities, and this is planned by, it's called E-Empower. So they're doing activities, which is wonderful, because we're bringing in different events that are geared towards them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a worthwhile program. Councilwoman Dennis?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just wanted to, again, thank the Shama family for coming and sharing Vi Shama's story. Also, congratulations to our Poppy buddy or boy?
Poppy Prince.
Poppy Prince? Buddy. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Congratulations to him. Our flea market is on August 21st, which is a Sunday from 9 to 5 at the Recreation Center. People can stop by and pick up some collectibles. Some food trucks will be parked out there, and it should be a really nice day on Sunday. I attended the last Biking and EP event hosted by our police department, and I must say it was a fantastic event. A lot of kids there. The cops were there interacting with them. It was really nice. So thank you, Chief, for that, for even bringing it back on the boulevard and closing out the summer for that. Our concerts, I've kind of passed by 2 of them. Selfishly, I love food trucks. So it's been a great addition. The concerts are great, the music is fantastic, and the food trucks are a great addition, and I understand there'll be some more. There's only 2 more concerts left, right? So hopefully everyone can come out to those on Tuesday nights. And just one more thing, we passed a resolution tonight regarding our Youth Civic Week, and I just want to say how excited I am for that. Just love seeing progress and our visions come to life. So thank you, Mayor and Council, for adopting that. I'm looking forward to getting it started. And Sal, thank you for everything you're doing to make sure this program happens. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Mrs. Dennis. Councilwoman Pellegrin?
Good evening, everyone. My Board of Health update. The free flu vaccine clinic will be held on Monday, September 26th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hut at Borough Field. Please bring IDs with you. Any questions, please call Marlene DeStefano at 201-796-1457, extension 201. Their next meeting will be held Monday, September 12th at 7 p.m. Save the date, October 1st, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the Elmwood Park Board of Health's 2nd annual Elmwood Park Celebrate Senior event. My police update. On Sunday, August 28th, our Elmwood Park PD will be hosting the Elmwood Village Block Party and Backpack School Supply Giveaway. This year, they will be offering free haircuts from professional barbers for the boys, and we are working on something for the young ladies. Just in time for the start of school, the newly formed Elmwood Park Police Emergency Response Unit starts active patrol on Monday, August 29th. The 4-officer unit is made up of highly trained SWAT personnel who are equipped with the proper tools to respond within minutes to any emergency type of situation that requires immediate actions by these highly trained officers. My Residents Assistance Program update. Please save the date. Come join us on September 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Elmwood Park Stop Out Hunger event. Location 236 Falmouth Ave. There will be free food, raffles, school supplies, music, and much more. Also, we will be celebrating the grand opening of our 2nd pantry. The People's Pantry, now with the 2nd structure, will be able to help so many more of our residents in need. This is truly a proud moment for our community. Please come out and be a part of this celebration. I can't tell you how long and hard we've all worked, the whole committee, on getting this 2nd pantry, and now it was delivered on Monday. They put it together Tuesday. There still needs to be a few tweaks to make it whole and to be opened, but this is such a blessing for our community. We'll have over 500 square feet of storage for our grocery supplies and non-perishables, and I mentioned this last time that we'll be able to have refrigeration with this new unit, and we'll be able to offer more food options to our residents, such as eggs, milk, butter, whatever, cheese. So this has really been, it's really been a dream come true for so many of us, and I want to thank the Mayor and Council for their continuous support. Angela Fava, Dion York, and our whole committee has worked so hard for this. So I just want to say I hope to see all of you out there so you can see it for yourself and see the good we're doing for our community. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Lorraine. And we appreciate all that you're doing and other council people here also. It's well appreciated. It's good for the town, it's good for the mayor and the council. Mr. Kolovec.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one update. This evening, the Fire Committee met with Chief Bruce to discuss various matters with the fire department. We are looking at ways to improve our stipend program and a couple of other different things the fire department benefits they get in order to incentivize new membership as well as reward the dedication and hard work of the current members, particularly those who respond to a high percentage of calls. So we threw a lot of ideas back and forth, and hopefully in the next month or two we'll be able to bring something to the full council for your consideration. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. Councilwoman Sheridan?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The Elmwood Park homeowners is going to Wing Creek Friday, August 26th. Bus leaves at 10 o'clock. I was talking to Linda, I think there's like maybe 4 or 5 seats left, so please give her a call if you're interested in going, 201-966-7694. Also, the VFW is having a country western night featuring Nick James and the Amarillos on Friday, September 16th at 6:30 at the VFW Hall. Tickets $25. If anybody's interested, please give me a call. 201-791-1296. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Terry. Councilman Fasolo?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start off by saying the concerts and the summer events are truly bringing the community together. After 2 years of COVID and all the restrictions, our community has bounced back better than before. And I'd like to commend everyone from the council to the police department to our fire department, our rec director, and everybody that helps make and has helped make all these events possible this summer. And we're just getting started. I know there's a lot more events to come. Second, I'd like to commend Councilwoman Dennis for getting the ball rolling on R-314-22. This program will immerse our youth in the various civic duties and workings of our government. It's a true benefit to the youth of our community, and I'm really looking forward to getting that moving as well. I'd like to congratulate Ms. Barbara Marquez on her appointment to the library board tonight. She's truly dedicated to our community, and when you have that passion and you're in it for the right reasons, you're guaranteed to do a great job. So just want to commend her on that. And progress, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Fasolo. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, there are no real symptoms this time, just sore throat and cold.
Okay, get better. We miss your face.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, that concludes the council reports. I think I got everybody. I did. I would just like to say myself that a lot of good things going on in Elmwood Park, as has been said here by my colleagues. I'm getting calls from other towns asking me, what are you doing over there? Every week you got 2, 3 events going on. I said, well, we got a very, very good council working with our BA. There's no stumbling blocks. Everybody's got their ears wide open and listening to what the other person has to say. If it sounds good and it's reasonable, we get it done. All right, with that said, may I have a motion to open to the public, please? Anyone from the public here to speak on any topic whatsoever? Yes, ma'am.
I have a few questions. Again, it's about the micro business, to the marijuana committee. I said in my resolution a couple weeks ago, I really don't know how the procedure is regarding that application.
Okay, let's let our attorney, Sal, will you please answer her on this?
What is your question, ma'am?
I sent in my application to the cannabis committee a couple weeks ago, and I haven't heard any response, but I don't really know what the procedure is on how that
Well,
goes.
first, if you sent the application to the committee, it's the committee that's going to set up a potential opportunity for you to address them, a meeting. And once that, they'll contact you, they'll have a meeting, you explain your position or what your licensing request is for. They will consider it and then give the council a recommendation.
Okay, and is the council thinking about amending the zoning? I know that at one of the council meetings, we had spoken about maybe amending the zonings to allow more micro businesses.
It has not come back from the board as a recommendation at this juncture, because they don't know how many applications will be forthcoming. But you can contact Mr. Burns, who is the secretary of the board as well as the attorney of the board, and you should have his number. If you don't,
I do, I have his number.
Yeah, good. That's where it all starts.
Okay.
There's procedure, there's to follow, and that's where it all begins. This council then is the last resort when they have to approve it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The process is definitely arduous, to say the least. Thank you, dear. Anyone else care to speak? Yes. Lenore, why don't you come to the, I should have that young lady come here too.
Press the button.
We want to hear you.
Press it. Press.
Raise your right hand. Okay.
Press the button. Press the button.
Mayor, did you press
Press
the button?
Okay, she got it.
We good?
Yeah.
We good? Okay. Mr. Solo, I hope you're feeling better, and I'm sorry you're under the weather. And I have to say, this is the most I've heard with all the council of all the committees that I've been impressed with, that everybody is doing so much for this town. It's really great. It was really great to hear it. Chief, I just have a question for you. When is the SWAT team going to be in effect?
August 29th.
In full gear, full capacity with everything they need?
For the most part. Still have some equipment on back order because of supply chain, but they'll be ready to go on the 29th.
Okay, good. Thank you. I was here in June for the council meeting, and I talked about the ADA curb. This woman is constantly trying to get up my curb with her walker. The last I heard was that you were going to contact the engineer. Now, I sent a picture to everyone. Where the ADA curb goes, they did not pave. So there is room to do the ADA curb, and I'd like to know what's holding it up. I was told it was in the budget. I was told it was going to be done in the fall. This is going on 6 years now. I was told it was going to be done when concrete is cheaper. I was told it was going to be done, and it's not getting done.
We have a reason that we're not doing it or doing it?
We're doing it, Mayor. Tom was out with COVID and then he went on vacation, so that's probably why things are delayed. Everything Lenore sent me was forwarded to him and his office. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of getting it done. So I just ask you to be a little more patient, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what happens when PSE&G comes and paves that section of the street?
Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't pave it. We should have that resolved before.
Okay,
The curbing and the stuff will be done before the paving for sure.
okay. Now, there's another thing. There's that issue with the parking on Cherry Hill, Cadmus Avenue. I got an email from the chief basically saying that The road has been there for 100 years, and they're not going to put up no parking signs. But then Victor Scott wrote and said that they enacted a no parking area in the section that I've been talking about. I've been talking about putting the no parking signs up from Garvey Place around that blind bend to Henry Street. And what got put up was 2 signs 100 feet from the crest of the hill with one little arrow on each sign. I suppose it indicates no parking on both sides. But Victor Scott said it was exactly where I indicated. That's not exactly where I indicated, because the people are parking on the road, blocking the lanes, and you cannot cross a double yellow line by Title 39. Besides that, there's not enough room. It's only 1 lane up and 1 lane down. There was another incident where Victor Scott was sent, and he was behind the parked car on the road in the lane. He reported that there wasn't a sight problem. I was coming from my home up the hill. I had to courtesy wait, which isn't a problem, for a car coming over the hill to come in my lane to go around Victor Scott, around the parked car, to get into the eastbound lane to go back down. That's why I'm asking for the no parking signs. Now, it's hit or miss. Sometimes they park there, sometimes they don't. I've sent pictures to the mayor and council showing cars parked in the opposite direction that they're supposed to be, and that's being taken care of. Now, under Chapter 7, under traffic, it says Cadmus Avenue. No parking, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. from the easterly curb of Henry Street to Garvey Place. That's the entire hill. So why did only 2 little signs go up within 100 feet of the crest of the hill? I don't understand that. So I would just like some clarification, like, one, when is the ADA curb going to go? And what happens if PSE&G comes and paves? And you're telling me you can't pave when the road is already done. It has to have road work done.
Any concrete work should be done prior to paving. It's going to be our job to make sure that happens.
Okay? And what are we going to do about the no parking signs on Cherry Hill?
We got two signs up there right now. I understand your concerns, and you were very explicit and descriptive in your purview of the situation. However, we have a traffic specialist that analyzes this stuff, and if he finds that it's not needed, that's one thing. It might not be what you want to hear, but that is the situation. Am I right in assuming that this was analyzed, Michael?
Yes, Mayor.
But Mayor,
Thank you.
Chapter 7, it says no parking from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, who's going to know that by this little piece of paper? Do you know that? Do you know that? No.
Your suggestion, we put up some signs saying no parking.
So if this is legal, if this says Chapter 7, 714.2, no parking from Henry Street to Garvey Place, who's going to know that unless there's a sign there? No one's going to know that.
We'll take that into consideration.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lenore. And anyone else care to speak? If not, I will close the public portion. Mr.
Just close the,
Do you want to speak?
if I may, in closed session.
Can we get you on the mic? I know.
Yeah, Mayor, I have just one matter to be discussed in closed session, which came to my notice about 3 o'clock this afternoon. But no action to be taken, yeah.
With that said, Sal, then I'll need a motion to go into executive, and I do want to inform the public that no formal action will be taken. Motion?
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss litigation and legal reports, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer require that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting.